He kissed me back for a moment, but I could tell he wasn't as into it as before. Worrying. Always worrying. How different it would be when he didn't need to worry about me anymore. What would he do with all his free time? He'd have to get a new hobby. "How are your feet?" he asked. Knowing he didn't mean that literally, I answered, "Toasty warm." "Really? No second thoughts?" "It's not too late to change your mind." "Are you trying to ditch me?" He chuckled. "Just making sure. I don't want you to do anything you're not sure about. I'm sure about you. The rest I can live through." He hesitated, and I wondered if I'd put my foot in my mouth again. "Can you?" he asked quietly. "I don't mean the wedding, which I am positive you will survive despite your qualms. But afterward, what about Renee? What about Charlie?" I sighed. "I'll miss them. Worse, that they would miss me. But I didn't want to give him any fuel. Angela and Ben and Jessica and Mike. I'll miss my friends too." I smiled in the darkness. "Especially Mike. Oh, Mike, how will I go on?" He growled. I laughed, but then was serious. "Edward, we've been through this and through this. I know it will be hard, but this is what I want. I want you, and I want you forever. One lifetime is simply not enough for me." "Frozen forever at 18, he whispered. "Every woman's dream come true," I teased. "Never changing. Never moving forward." "What does that mean?" He answered slowly. "Do you remember when we told Charlie we were getting married, and he thought you were pregnant? And he thought about shooting you?" I guessed with a laugh. Admit it, for 1 second he honestly considered it. He didn't answer. "What, Edward?" "I just wish... Well, I wish that he'd been right." Gah! I gasped. More that there was some way he could have been. That we had that kind of potential. I hate taking that away from you, too. It took me a minute. "I know what I'm doing." "How can you know that, Bella?" "Look at my mother. Look at my sister. It's not as easy a sacrifice as you imagine. Esme and Rosalie get by just fine. If it's a problem later, we can do what Esme did. We'll adopt." He sighed, and then his voice was fierce. "It's not right. I don't want you to have to make sacrifices for me. I want to give you things, not take things away from you. I don't want to steal your future. If I were human..." I put my hand over his lips. "You are my future. Now stop. No moping, or I'm calling your brothers to come and get you. Maybe you need a bachelor party." "I'm sorry. I am moping, aren't I? Must be the nerves. Are your feet cold?" "Not in that sense. I've been waiting a century to marry you, Miss Swan. The wedding ceremony is the one thing I can't wait." He broke off mid-thought. "Oh, for the love of all that's holy. What's wrong?" He gritted his teeth. "You don't have to call my brothers. Apparently, Emmett and Jasper are not going to let me bow out tonight." I clutched him closer for 1 second and then released him. I didn't have a prayer of winning a tug-of-war with Emmett. "Have fun."
By broken tree, hands are all twisted, it's pointing at me. I was damned by light coming all I see. Spoke with a voice that disrupted the sky. She said, "Walk all over, yeah, it's a bitter shade. I will wrap you in my arms, ain't no stand. Let me sign Let me sign